Welcome to the dollhouse. I am the doll, and it has been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two. Step two. You guys know what I mean to say. I miss you. And I've been so busy organizing my home. I got a new car, and that is kind of what led me to do this video. Having too much favor and being too blessed can seem like you're bragging, and it will turn people off from you socially. You can look at me and tell that I'm doing well, not because I'm wearing a bunch of flashy labels or anything like that, but I'm generally a healthy looking person. And you know, how I live my life, it reflects privilege, and not only pretty privilege, but financial privilege. And that can really strike a chord in the hearts of people who are not feeling that confident. So in this scenario, you want to shine, but you also want to be careful. There's a thin line to walk, because you don't want to turn into a goofy people pleaser just to appease someone who doesn't have as much privilege. But you also don't want to upset someone by seeming like you are trying to outshine them when they are in a certain position of power. If they have the slightest bit of power over you, you have to be very, very careful with your privilege around people who do not have as much power as you. And I had to learn that just not sharing too many successes with certain people, or even trying to really befriend them, is a good idea. That's another law. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. Of course, the first law is never outshine the master. And in some instances, people who are of a lower rank than you in society, they could be a gatekeeper to certain things like safety, because they could physically attack you, or a social gatekeeper to other groups and clubs or groups of friends, or even at work. You know, of course, the bitter manager who is jealous of all of your other accolades could certainly be someone to make your day-to-day life miserable. So it's almost just not worth it to be too obvious with your privilege, unless you're putting it to use in the scenarios with them. You have to weigh out the pros and the cons. Pretty privilege, if you're working in an environment where there's a bunch of like crusty looking women, especially, working above you or working around you, you don't want to show up crusty, but you don't want, what's the point of going glam? I mean, and you may want to and really like it, but it's something, there's something to be aware of, and that is it's navigating the world with strategy, and always having the attitude that, oh, well, I'm gonna do it because, you know, no one's gonna stop me. You can be stopping yourself because you aren't really moving from a strategic place. So, you know, these are things to think about. How privilege can really attract a negative vibration back to you. Because where there's yin, you will always find yang coming toward it. So, you know, just, it's all about having balance, celebrating your wins with people who actually care. And I mentioned my car earlier because I got a brand new car, great deal, very expensive luxury vehicle. And you know, a lot of times people will post things like that, but I didn't post on social media. I very, very rarely ever post on social media. Not to say, oh, I got this new item. I've been to this new place. Oh, look at how pretty and skinny I am. Look at me and my man doing X, Y, and Z. I never do that because I already know that on the back end, even with people's energy, I'd rather keep people guessing anyway about what I'm doing, which they probably don't even care. But I would rather them not care and not have any reason to interfere or block my pathway or bring a negative, jealous bit of gossip up about me that's probably made up just to counteract the way that I'm shining out here. So I've experienced financial privilege, and even among my friend group, I've noticed how it could turn certain people off. I have a good, solid group of friends, 3 other women who I talk to. We, exchange stories. We have heart-to-heart conversations, mostly when we get together, because it's become obvious that I am in a silent competition with all of them, and I'm the linchpin in this friend group. I'm the one that has brought everyone together, but it seems as if in lots of ways, all but maybe one of them are in a silent competition with me with regard to lifestyle, looks, dating life. And I could tell by the way that they helped me celebrate my birthday. My 40th birthday, which was a big deal for me. One of the things I wanted to do was go to my favorite steakhouse, rooftop steakhouse, very exclusive, very expensive. I wanted all the ladies to wear a red dress. Well, that's not a really big request. Every skin tone looks good in red. It is a primary color that can be either warm or cool. And that was a simple request. You show up to my birthday party. You don't even have to pay for your meal at this very expensive, exclusive restaurant. I'm going to pay for your meal. I'm going to pay for your parking. I'm going to pay for your drinks. This is my birthday party. I'm the hostess. It's my 40th, all expense. Just show up wearing red. Do you know that one of them mentioned that she considered not wearing red? 2 of them, the 2 that I know that are in silent competition, had a little cackle at the dinner table with me about how they almost showed up not wearing red. I would have been pissed. And I would have probably still let them, dine with me that evening. But I would have certainly known then that I don't need to be that close to these women. Let's just keep them around for celebrations and good times. But when it comes down to, real issues, I'm going to have to go through them alone because I can't trust them to help me. But they're there for celebration. So that's what friends are for, to be honest. When you get to my age, you keep it light with friends because things like this are natural among women. That competition, because people typically do not want you to do better than them. And I'm no different. Like, I have had twinges of jealousy when people I know supersede me in some way, or there's a perception that they've superseded me. But the difference is I don't resent them for it, and what I do is use that as motivation to get on their level. And I high five, and I might even mention, girl, you pushed me to the limit. I was like, you're doing it. I got to get up there where you're at. I don't want to get left behind. But I don't sit back and analyze like one of those friends that are like, must be nice. Must be nice to be a size 6. Must be nice to have X, Y, and Z. Must be nice to have a man do this and that for you. So anyway, back to the dinner. It was my 40th birthday. Everybody showed up in red, which I was glad about. All LA, top floor, We're ordering top shelf drinks. Getting drinks from people in the restaurant who notice a table of beautiful women in all red. It was just a spectacle. There were only 4 of us, but that was enough. 4 beautiful women wearing red, having a good time. That was, it was a little bit of me flexing my financial privilege, but I wanted to share that with my friends. I wanted to have a birthday party somewhere and I just wanted to enjoy myself with people that I care about and enjoy the gift of living so long and sharing my gifts with others and moving into a phase of I'm really grown and I'm having a party and I'm paying for it because, baby, I got it like that. I'm 40 years old now. Boom. What are we doing here? I do know that it created a little resentment because I've always had success in love. And right now, I've been involved with someone. This is the same guy. We had just started talking. And he swooped into the dinner and came at the very tail end, ordered us a round of drinks, and then picked up the $900 check without thinking. Everybody at the table was gawking. And I loved it. It was my birthday. It made me wiggle a little bit in my seat, but it did stir up some hate in the eyes of the observers. So after the dinner, insecurity started to ramp up among all 3 of the ladies, but 2 of them specifically. One of them basically fell off after that. This dinner exposed that as good as my life is, people will be happy for me, but there could be the risk of some people being secretly envious, which is natural, and using it against me in some way. And that girl that kind of fell off the map, she's still in touch every now and then in a very awkward way. I invite her to things, and the other girls invite her to things, but it's just not the same since that dinner because we went from talking literally every day to not talking at all. And I'd reached out. And even after that, I took her to dinner for her birthday because, her birthday was a big deal to her. She kind of makes it a whole month-long celebration. And, she didn't invite me to anything if she did anything for her birthday. So I, reached out and I took her to dinner. Of course, she accepted the invitation to the free meal. But when she arrived, she had her nose kind of turned up, like in a way, almost like I owed her. Like I was paying for her presence, which I had to put the kibosh on that quick. So I took her to dinner, but after that, I just, keep her at arm's length. And every time that the server comes around, if we're out to eat again, the checks are separate, And the other friend, we still talk, but there's still a competition with her in the dating department. She feels like she has to tell me about everybody who wants her, how they all want her so badly, and all of these wonderful stories of new guys that she's meeting that never end up being in a relationship with her at any point. But I guess she feels like it's a competition for cute. For who's cuter, who's men, who attracts cuter men. And I definitely don't have a problem attracting cute men, but I'm not looking for a guy who is in the mirror longer than me. That's something that she likes. And she constantly reminds me of how she couldn't be with somebody like the guy I'm with because he doesn't work out. Like he's not ripped. He's just not as ripped as, one of the guys that she would like. So it's something that I noticed, but I take it personally. I just know that I keep my good news mostly to people that are blood related to me. And sometimes even then those people can be haters, secret haters. So you just don't want to really take it too personally, but also just be mindful. that when you shine your light, it could attract some darkness to you. You know, move with strategy. That's the point of this. Do you have to share everything? Does, you know, are the certain people around you worthy of being aware of your wins? Can they be trusted to be happy for you? Are they at the level where they won't feel so jealous that they have to retaliate against you? You know, all of these things have to be taken into account as you rise, as you social climb. And, you know, that's something that I'm currently dealing with. As one of the aunties of the exotical community, this video is designed to help younger women manage their privilege and understand that people will naturally be human. They're naturally going to be human. They might be jealous. They might want to take you off your pedestal. They might want to feel better about themselves and try to bring you down. Don't let that deter you from the strategy of whatever it is that you are going for, and see beyond it if they have any value in your life. Our perspective and our perceptions create our world, and sometimes other people just are not at the same level. And once you can see that they really have the issue, they're the ones that have that perception of weakness within themselves, it releases you from feeling any kind of way about it. And, you know, they don't have any effect over your life anymore. So I hope that you understand that your privilege absolutely has some downsides, and that in order to manage them, you may not want to share all of your privileges, all of your wins, all of your successes with everyone. And it may sound like I'm encouraging people to dim their light, and in some ways I am. Because again, the number one law of the 48 laws of power is never outshine the master. So assess the situation you're in. You know, is this person gatekeeping something that is valuable to you? Like access to friendship, or, you know, access to employment, access to revenue. Or if it's just someone you want to maintain a connection with, because we need community. You know, we need community. So it's interesting for me to make this video, and I will probably make more observations on the downsides of privilege in the future, and how to strategize and how to navigate the treacherous waters of the world. So again, I appreciate you for being here. Please like the video. It's a free way to support the channel. Please like the video, and we'll be talking soon.